Yo, sorry for the brilliant white light. Welcome to my project, my personal thoughts on what my project was, by me in PowerPoint slide form. So I decided to go back and watch the episodes and kind of see where I went wrong, see what I can do better. So episodes 1 through 10, they were edited. They had, the upcoming what's going to happen in this episode. Just, it's the initial hook. That was my initial thought. And it had some post-edit narration, not like me actually saying stuff, though I think that was in one of the episodes. There was a lot of, here's the text thing of my post-processing thought. Even though that should have been inside of the actual video. Yeah. There's a lot of, word slurry. I had to repeat myself to fix my sentences, and, I still have to. But that's the thing that comes with time. And I didn't just talk during fight scenes at all. Just because I was, excuse me, I was just thinking of how I should play the game. That's what I'm used to doing, instead of just, talking during it. If that makes sense. I should have prepared a script for this, but no, I am doing this I can speak words still. It's been months since the last video. I'm out of practice. Also notice I was a bit quiet in these episodes. The audio levels and dialogue, my audio levels compared to the game was slightly off. I was quiet, and then I was loud, and it's a whole mess of stuff. And I feel like I got it better with that when I started equalizing my audio when I was done. I was also aimless. This still needs to be worked on, because I obviously still have this. I still my brain goes wherever, and I don't finish thoughts, or my brain doesn't come up with the next thought fast enough. There's also screen tearing and pixelation throughout the entire series. That made me a little bit sad. As it turns out, I was using a depreciated encoder. I think it's right. Yeah, depreciated settings. So hopefully that will be fixed. I did not mean to press click. It had an extremely low bit rate. And so that's why there's a lot of pixelation. And that was throughout the entire time I was doing this. Which is very upsetting that I didn't catch myself before, I even uploaded the first one. But you see, I feel like I wasn't entertaining at all during this. But editing made things semi-entertaining. Kind of. As I was going back watching through all of it, all of the edits were getting rid of the blank space. But if I cut at the wrong time, there is going to be you're going from one clip to another without anything in between. So it's kind of like if you've ever seen a video of a stream highlights kind of thing, it's kind of that kind of vibe, but that's not what I want. And if I'm trying to show a narrative of, a game like an RPG, that's not going to work out too well. Because I'm going to go from one point to another without an explanation of why. And that thing I don't like at all. Like in movies that have... what movie was it? I think it was The Boy and the Heron, where there was a lot of... the characters got from point A to point B without anything in between. I forget the term I'm thinking about that is related to that. I'll remember eventually. But it's that missing piece that bothers me, and the fact that I did that in my editing irks me. I could say more flowery or more inappropriate language to describe how much it upsets me that I did that, but I'm not going to. So episodes 11 through 20. As you may notice, There's nothing here because I did not watch them. That's because I don't entertain myself. As I was like in the middle of episode 10, and I got bored. Which is a problem, because I want to do stuff that both entertains and affects people. But the thing is, if I can't even entertain myself, then that's a big problem. That's a huge, massive problem. And it's something I need to fix. Also something I worked on during this entire project, thumbnails. So this was the very first one. And I felt like it was, kind of cool because he had a sense of scale with it, That was my initial thought. This was where I was starting to put the white borders around images. And I also started taking screenshots from the video editor itself to put in thumbnails, but because I'm taking a snapshot of a small screen that is in of itself not the highest quality, you get not a lot of detail. And of course, this is a screenshot of a thumbnail, so no, this is the actual original file, but stretched out so you can see it. When it's in like a small thumbnail, it kind of looks alright, but when it's stretched out like this, you can see the low quality, and that upsets me. So this was a later one. I did not know what thumbnail to put this, do this episode, but when I look at this, I go, there's something missing. I wanted to initially show off this, chasm, but there's nothing that catches the eye here. Like, let me go back. Yeah, the thing that my eye gets initially drawn to is this. And this is not entertaining, or wouldn't, like, draw me personally into something. But hey, at least everything's not pixelated. At least not a lot. Yeah, no, there's still some pixelation. This one I felt like was okay. Again, this was still picked up from the video editor, and I started to add some text onto a thumbnail, which I think is fine. I kind of actually like this, just because you get a text over here, you get a face that you kind of get drawn toward, and you get like red text, which is also initial, like, look at me. Okay, this one I just initially like. I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't know. I just like it. Because, one, this has actual detail. This is from a screenshot of the enemy archives in-game. So it actually has some quality, but you can see I did a poor job of cropping it out. Of course, you kind of can't really tell the difference when you're looking at a small thumbnail. Well, you actually might be. Can't really tell. But yeah, I like the idea. I like its better quality, but it didn't had enough effort put into it. When I look at this, I didn't realize that there were small guys in these turrets. How did I never notice that? Huh. Okay, now this one I don't know, it entertains me. It's probably not like really good, because one, it's low quality, it's noisy, and you can't really tell what's happening initially, so therefore it's not going to grab you, and you're just going to scroll past it. But I like the initial, like, idea, because this would be, hey, here's a robot that's menacing, about to punch a person. That, like, there's an action, there's a face to initially draw you in, a bit of comedy, maybe. But it's just so noisy. Like, I did initially tamper with the colors to make it a little bit, like, deep fried, but I think I made that worse. This was another one where I had text in it, but I don't think it works well just because there's this weird empty space. I felt like if I shifted this, these two were like in the center here, and this was like aligned in the center on the top, that would probably work a little bit better. There's also not really a face to draw your eyes to, because your eyes get drawn to faces pretty easily. That's why you see a lot of like the YouTube thumbnails, people have people's faces in there. Because you go, oh hey, human face. Look at that. Okay, now this one I really like. It also doesn't have the white borders that you initially had, and this is the first time I noticed that. And it also have bad sizing. I really need to pay attention to the small details. But I really like this because there's a face, and it draws you in, and there's text. And I think, like, the face initially draws you in, and you see this and you go, huh? What's going on in this one? This one I've done before in the other NieR game that I played. And I'm just entertained by this. It's just entertains me. There is a lot of noise, and I will admit. But, I don't know, I'm just entertained by that one. This one was alright, because I think this one is, initial higher quality. You have a face on here. I also use the rule of thirds, which if you don't know, it's if you split an image into thirds, vertically and horizontally, so a line there, a line there, and a line there, you will get like this point of cross-section. And usually at these like points that would be there, people will tend to look toward more often than not. And it makes for an like interestingly composed image, but I feel like there's still something missing here, and I don't know. It feels like I feel like while it's following that rule of third, you're also initially drawn to this face, and I feel like this face is way too high up in this image. And it doesn't... I don't know, there's just something missing from here. And this was the last one. And I went back to low quality. So this irks me. The verdict, sorry for flashbanging you, I still need a lot of work. A part of this was I was making this weekly, so I didn't have time to go to work, come back home, spend a lot of time working on a thumbnail or working on editing, and a lot of detail was thrown out, and a lot of quality that could have been there is just not there anymore. And I wanted to think more through this, but I have been sitting on this recap for far too long, and I need to actually start doing stuff, Overall, I think I've made a lot of progress going through this project. But obviously, I still need a lot more work. The thing is just going back through stuff, I see what I've done, and that makes me angry to see what I did, just because of how terrible it is. But that's why we look back on it, to look forward to the future. Gosh, I don't have words, man. It's been too long since I've did this, and it appears my any skills I've built up have kind of slightly depreciated. So hey, I still need work. I got no ideas to move forward. Like, I want to go back to long-form content and making stuff with a script and making something of higher quality. But in the meantime, as I work on those, I want to still make like something weekly to keep up this practice, because I feel like over time I got a lot better. But if I'm not continuously working on this, I am going to backslide. So what I'm thinking of doing is trying to do something at least once a week where I'm just kind of talking about how the week went and anything I've learned and stuff like that. It's just me just rambling. But I think that's fine. Yeah, I need to come up with my next project because I have been going through a lot and I've had no time to think about it because my mind has been elsewhere and it's not been in good places. But hey, that's life. Can't always do everything you want to do all the time. I'm tired. So yeah, I intend to... I shouldn't have escaped. I still need a lot more work done. And hey, now that I've seen a lot of stuff that really makes me angry to look at what I've done, maybe I can actually do better in the future. Surprise, surprise, how that works out. But hey, thanks for listening to me ramble. I wish I thought about this a lot more, but I just simply need to get over this one video so I can actually look to more stuff and actually do it. So putting it all off. Yeah, like I said, thank you for listening to me ramble. If you watched through the entire series, thanks. Greatly appreciate it. If not, it's fine. I only do this because I actually, have fun doing it. So, make sure all those things everyone else asks you to do. And remember, please work on your actual projects so you can actually improve and be happy doing stuff you like to do. Because that's good. Yeah, I really needed to thought out this video a little bit more. Oh well.